cut with his cut. Exactly down the centre line. My knees, both my knees bend. And I've come exactly down the centre line. So the sequence is cut. So when you're open, you've got to be ready to go when you open. So exactly your movement matches his movement. When I open now, it's going to be the rear leg that goes first. And I'm going to position myself again about a 45-degree angle relative to his body. The butt end of my sword, the Skagashira, is always in line with my centre. Always in line with my navel, as is his. Turning. So basically, our swords descend at exactly the same point. It's at the same point in time.
The application is this.
Left side, right side. That's the reason why. The theory is I can cut him in 3 places. 1, his head. 2, the torso. And 3, the wrist by shifting the centre of gravity. And the centre of gravity is shifting. This would be most basic. Torso and back. That's the final position we want to end up in. So the hips need to be down, springing. So in fact, his first cut will come on my knee, shoulder, so it'll be Yokomenuchi for him. Now I've got to move backwards. And I absorb the attack in this fashion. He comes down on this side, so gap Yokomen for him. I shift, sword comes up, and down. So we'll do it left foot forward, so he comes in. Raise, and down. Shift the weight to the rear. Raise the Ken. You can do that now because you've shifted the weight. It's possible to raise your arms. And down. So now I've got to time my movement. The important thing is the distance control. Yeah, the position of my body is exactly the same as when you do it separated from, like a static position. So we start now normally in the Kenkamai, so my right leg is forward. The feeling we have is that I actually want to knock his sword aside in order to strike him, this kind of movement. Okay? We're going to simulate that by him actually opening and me raising, as if I want to come in to strike him in that fashion. Okay? By doing that, I open myself up. Enables him to cut laterally across my stomach. So I move back and cover my position, keeping the right leg forward. He now comes to cut my shoulder, and we're back into this same territory that we were studying just now on the Awase movements. Exactly the same. The only difference is now we're finishing on the right hand side. 1. 1. 2, and we're going to raise, and then down. That's the first movement. Second movement, then he comes to cut my shoulder. And third movement, you finish the sequence. So it's basically a 3-movement sequence. One, two, I'm going to match his wrist on the second cut that he makes. The button of the sword is always in line with my navel. But I match his movement, so I catch him halfway through, just as he's about to go over to the other side. One, two, my hip's still down here, look. Now, when I down. One, two, then round again. Close, open the distance. That means you'll get a full cut here. Round and then in. The important thing is here, your left hand is lower down because you're going to block any attempt he has to cut laterally at this point. That's what you're trying to do. Is hand me and this way around. Here the right hand is in line with the navel, not the left. If you bring the left in line, it'll be like that. You won't be able to stop him cutting laterally. Now you've got to be that way. But realistically, the first cut that I make is a decisive one. That one's finished it. So I will end up with the left leg forward. One, left leg forward. And down in this position because I want to be able to be close enough to take his hand. Take the hilt. Maybe. Okay, so we'll do this Tachi dori. 90 degrees is the entry that I'm making. Just a simple left side movement. Big edge. And, for example, this way is possible also. Needs to be committed. Exactly this distance. So, center of gravity, one, exactly in the center. This way also is good. Now, one, two, my whole body really together. I guess you use the arms first, and then you can I go move. I move this part first, the arm follows. It's different. So I start with this leg forward. It means when I enter, I must commit this angle. Theory. But instead, and commit your weight. This side. Almost like now, I just have to do that and I open. Look, it's exactly in the centre line. I can use, if it's a little bit difficult to turn over, I can use the hilt to help me do that. helps me also then to take the sword away.